Right, another one of the questions that really comes up a lot is, what do I do if my horse is heavy? Well, I don't think that's something that just suddenly happens. I think it gradually creeps in on you. You know, they get a little heavier and a little heavier and a little heavier until you really get to be annoyed by it. Backing up is one of the things that I think is a counterbalance. You know, so I was told many years ago, is your backup as good as your forwards? You know, and basically a trot is a diagonal gait going forwards and a backup is a diagonal gait going backwards. So in theory, you should be able to go backwards as fast as you can trot. And that's something that, you know, intellectually, when yes, I understand that, the legs are diagonal, it makes sense. But actually getting a horse to put effort into going backwards like that was not something that I worked on. So I have been working on it a little bit with him. I'll start. Now if I pick up a feel on him and then change my posture, the legs off and feel like I want to hurry, then my life's up a little and I relax. I could almost guarantee all the horses around that you would say are heavy, or you feel they're heavy, wouldn't even back up at that speed. You know, they just feel the more you tried, the heavier they got. So that's something you probably should encourage the horse to be better at. We were roping off my mare the other day and she's a little worried about things dragging. So for her, if I throw a rope out in front with something on it and I start to back her up and it starts to follow, it encourages her to hurry. So instead of me pulling on her, which is actually going to get her to lean on me, you know, because if I pull and she's heavy, all we do is have a bit of an argument with each other. And if you release at the wrong moment, she's going to stay really heavy. So as I'm doing this with him, I'm thinking, if you could put a little bit of extra life in, then I'll release you. So whereas at the beginning, this would be my start, now I'm going a little bit more energy, a bit more speed, release a little. A little bit more energy, a bit more speed, release a little. So when his head comes down and he gets softer and he puts more effort into moving, he gets a release. I know when you first start on this, probably what's going to happen when you try and hurry is they'll get stuck. They'll try and get their heads up and braced. So if you get this backwards feeling and then take that feeling forwards, and it should weigh less in your hands. And every time he gets a little heavier, I could just remind him that he's not supposed to be putting weight forwards into my hands. Backing and arcs are really good things too, but again, they're not so easy. If I've got a reasonable backup, as I back him up and I tip his nose slightly to the right, he's going to start reaching with that right front, you know, and I could keep him coming around, reaching with the right front, reaching with the right front, reaching, reaching, reaching. We've done a full circle. At the beginning, if he did one stride, maybe I'd release him and get him ready to go the other way. When I pick up, I'm going to tip his nose slightly to the left. If I try and make him turn, I'm probably going to make him heavy. I just need him to be balanced and think about coming back and over, back and over, back and over, and now there's a full circle the other way. These are things that I think the first time I did it might have taken me an hour. You know, because the horse was just, I don't know how to do that, it's just all too difficult. So that's something that gets me to have my horses light and able to turn. If I can do these exercises, it's really easy to pick up the reins, use a little outside leg and step him over. Pick up the reins, a little outside leg, step him over, because he knows not to go through my hands. The other exercise that I do a lot of if they're heavy is let's say that backup isn't working and you just feel that you're pulling. If you've got a fence, you can come up to the fence here and I can just close my hands and just annoy him a little until he thinks of backwards. I'm not pulling on the reins, so if he goes forwards I won't do anything. I'll just wait for him to change his mind about where he thinks he could get release and then let go of that. Up again, but I've got my body slightly in a backwards position there, and leave him alone. Shoulder out again, another great exercise, and for the really pushy horses, probably almost square to the fence, you know, so there's really no way he can push forwards without hitting the fence, because we're more than 45 degrees to the fence. Back the other way, and I'm going to tip him almost square on, so he can still move his feet, but it's taking away that heaviness. And before I come back the other way, it'd be great if I could sort of get him square and annoy him and let him find backwards. So just working on that step under with the inside hind should really help them. So backing up, number one thing, does he back up really well? Can you do the shoulder out really easily? Can you back him off the fence? And then as I'm coming forwards, if I felt he was really heavy, instead of pulling on him, I'd probably drive that hind leg, you know, and just go, would you step under and actually engage your hind? Because that downwards weight is him getting a little lazy about how he's using his hind legs and not reaching forwards and under with the hind. I'm going to change this way. Think of the left hind, it needs to step under. You know, I'm not going to just kick and push if he doesn't listen. I will touch him fairly hard and go, you must not ignore me. You must go forwards. I'm trying to be the leader in this relationship. It's almost like having an employee that doesn't work. You know, if you're going to sack him. My horse is on the payroll all the time and he's always trying to do his best to get a promotion. So I hope that helps a little bit with that. There's many things we can do, but for now, that should help you a lot. While I'm around horses, watching what's available to me, and it became obvious a long time ago that people are not really aware of what's available to them in the horse they already own. And we all have that, if only we had a great horse, then we could have a good time with them. But every horse has the potential to do some amazing things, and I see my job as helping people understand how to unlock that potential in their horses.